Hi everyone, I'm Chloe, and today we're here to talk about my ideas for the research paper, The Everyday, A Case of Amnesia, and perhaps a remedy. So let us begin. My definition of the everyday is the mundane repetitive cycle of daily life. And my thesis statement is, by presenting a broader view in time travel highlights the obliterating effect of the everyday on human memory and provides a solution to it. The texts we will be looking at include Kindred, Interstellar, and The Time Machine. So let us start with Kindred. In Kindred, we have two instances of this forgetful effect. The first of all is what Butler calls the dulling effect. This happens when slavery becomes a part of the everyday, and it's manifest in Dana's increased endurance towards pain and in Rufus's gradual fall into cruelty. We also see a case of historical amnesia, where the people of the present forget all the pain that they endured during the antebellum South, and they continue to endeavor in activities such as the slave market. A remedy that Butler proposes for this is time travel, because it is through time travel that Dana and Kevin are able to travel back to the antebellum South and experience slavery for themselves, see how cruel that slavery actually is. And in doing that, they can compare the events that are happening in their modern life with the antebellum South. In Interstellar, we have a very similar case of forgotten history. So in this case, it is the forgotten history of science. And we have two very symbolic spaces in this movie. First of all is the NASA, which symbolizes scientific achievements, and second of all is the farms, which symbolizes the everyday. So the fewer people in NASA represent the devaluation of intelligence, and the more people focused on the farms represent survival over evolution. So even though there are still people that are from a time that valued intelligence, they've basically forgotten it in a constant repetitive labor for survival. And the remedy to that is, again, time travel, because it is through time travel that the protagonist is able to save all of humanity, and only then can humanity continue to evolve. The Time Machine provides us with a grander view of human evolution, and we see this in the Eloi. So they are essentially products of evolution. So they are described as people of a very short attention span, and they endeavor in activities of pure entertainment all day long. So they're essentially people of the present, and they are the product of a repetitive life without any concern for danger or for future development. And the author hints that the people of England at the time of the book was written are actually headed in the direction of the repetitive everyday that gradually led to the Eloi. However, he also states that the time travel and the time machine itself is actually a reflection of humanity's ability to remember the past and to imagine the future. The time travel may be the only thing that can stop the people from evolving into the Eloi. And in reality, we don't have our own little time machines, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are subject to the forgetfulness that the everyday causes. We actually have our own form of a time machine, which is literature, because it is in these books that the authors, they give us a view into history, into the future. They give us warnings, they give us their own predictions, and it is that way that we are able, that humanity basically is able to manifest their ability to remember and to imagine, and that is why literature is the salvation. And these are my two secondary sources. The first one is based off of Kindred, and it describes the way that Butler is able to move away from the stereotypes of the slave narrative and speculative fiction, and in that way it is able to capture the reader in this space of the antebellum South and make slavery feel more real to them, essentially giving the reader a way to travel back in time. And the second one is based on the effects of the everyday in different parts of H.G. Wells's The Time Machine. If you guys have any questions, please post them on Canvas or wherever for me, and I'll answer them there. And this is my attempt at a meme for you guys. It's a quote from Interstellar. So thank you for watching. And yep, that's it. Okay, let me turn this thing off. Okay.